To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejados de las
This here's
puertas.
a wild ride in the wilderness.
When invisibility doors change.
So today on Miles from Main Street, we are talking about the Polynesian. I've got a good friend here to talk about the Polynesian and his trip. He had one of those dream trips down to Disney World. So we will get to that in 1 second. Mikhailo is not with me tonight. He is off at Disney World having one of his dream trips. But Noah, thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited. My first podcast ever.
Yes, I'm excited to have you too because you got to go to the Polynesian and it was a dream trip.
I did. I got to do it twice too, so I'll just rub that in a little bit for you. I did, and it was a dream vacation, and it was ridiculously expensive, but my whole family went, and we enjoyed it so much that we went to the Polynesian again. And we got to stay club level both times, so it was incredible.
All right, so let's start there. Let's talk about club level. What did you enjoy about it?
I think the best part is that how they really took care of you. So, like when we walked in, it was, they knew somehow that we were club level, so we were guided directly to a different building. I believe it was the Hawaii building, I think it's called, that you stay at.
Okay, wait. So
Right.
this is completely different from any of the other buildings.
Right. Like if you stay club level, I think they have two buildings that are exclusive to the club level people, and there's concierges in those buildings. So
Okay.
you basically get your own personal concierge for the whole time that you stay there. And it was incredible. Very, very, very incredible. Like you would wake up in the morning, and I'll get to this because I can start from the beginning, but an example is you'd get up in the morning and, be headed out, and you'd go past the concierge desk, and they'd be like, "Oh, good morning, Noah. We just threw 3 fast passes on your Magic Band today for whichever park. It doesn't matter. Just use them as you want." And we were just like, okay. So, I mean, it was insane. And they would book things for you at the last minute. We, when we checked in, as I'm sure a lot of people experience, we had to wait forever for our room. And we had 3 rooms, and my brother ended up getting his room till like 8 at night. And we got there at like 2 in the afternoon, and they gave us a night free for that. And then he ended up getting a handicap room, so his shower was a little crazy because it was like wheelchair accessible and
Sure.
everything. So they switched him rooms and then gave him another discount. So they just took care of you left and right. I mean, it was crazy. And the food spread all day long. The fireworks show, you would just sit in their lounge because it was all glass windows, and you would just see the fireworks show at night at the Magic Kingdom, and while having like different desserts. And they would have the sound of the fireworks show, the music that's playing is in the speakers too, so you don't miss anything.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Club level has always interested me there, so, anywhere. But
Yeah, my goal on my bucket list was to stay at all of the hotels on the monorail. So I stayed at Grand Floridian, and then I stayed at Contemporary, and they were both wonderful. Grand Floridian was probably my least favorite, but then when we decided we were going to do the Polynesian, the only thing they had available was club level, and we were like, oh man, because it's a lot more. It's a couple $100 extra a night, and we had 3 rooms, so. But we just wanted to stay there, and my mom actually was like, "We're staying there," and my brother and I were like, "All right, we'll just do this, I guess." And it was crazy. I mean, like I said, the way they took care of you and anything you needed at all was right there. Every time we would like come back from a park or anything like that, they'd have like something for my daughter. Like they gave her like a necklace, and they gave her free ears one day. They gave her a personal a hula lesson in the lounge. So yeah, there was this lady that would walk around the lounge playing like the ukulele and teaching people to hula like all the time. And then we had all the food and drinks we wanted as well. That was cool.
So now when you're booking your trip, is there anything special about going and booking your trip?
There is. We went through a travel agent for that one, and I did not want to go through a travel agent because I like booking Disney trips on my own, but I just got outnumbered on that one. But when we booked it and then ended up booking club level, we did get like a pretty nice, sweet package that had a tote bag on it. There was autograph books. I think it came with 3 autograph books, probably 1 per room because we had 3 rooms. And I believe there was some sort of candy, like Disney candy in there as well. I don't remember what it was, but it had Goofy's face on it.
Oh, interesting.
Popcorn, maybe?
Could have been.
But anyway, and we didn't know we were getting that at all. So that was kind of the first taste of, maybe we're onto something here. And then the second time we went, they did send the same thing, but it was a different tote bag. So we got 2 different tote bags.
Oh, that's
I think
cool.
I think the second time it was a Disney Vacation Club tote bag that they sent with it. And then the luggage tags too, which were different then, I think, than they are.
They've changed
now.
them in the last couple of years.
Right, because I think the last time we went, they were they're from the Mickey Mouse shorts, right? Where
Yeah.
they look like those characters. Okay, but the time before that on our trip, I want to say they were something different than that.
I can't remember what they were
I
either.
can't
But yeah,
either.
we've had those too.
Yeah,
I don't know. I love the luggage tags, but to get a
I do
tote
too.
and this other stuff along
Yeah,
with it.
was so nice. Like I said, it was kind of a preview of what's to come, and we had no idea we were going to be treated the way that we were when we were there. Like I said, it was really something else. It was very, very special, for sure.
So I like that you said you had to use a travel agent. You know, Melissa Pilgrim helps
Right,
us out here.
I've
She
heard,
would like
yep.
to hear that. So
I did. I will say I've booked them on my own, and I've booked them with a travel agent. And there's something about using the travel agent that did put me at ease a little bit. Like when I booked I think I booked the second Polynesian one on my own, and to spend that kind of money, I kind of felt weird just doing it on the website, like being like, I'm spending, like it just kind of felt good having a third party person taking care of everything. And plus the travel agent was really good, and they reminded us of when days were coming up that we needed to start booking our dining. And we actually had the deluxe dining package on that trip as well, which we did not need because we did not realize all the food that club level was going to have. But we ended up switching a lot of our plans once we got there, and using most of those dining things to meet more characters, to go to some more character lunches.
oh, right. Okay.
So, but again, the concierge at the club level was like, sure, I can take care of that for you. I'll just find something. Let me know if this works. I mean, it was, whereas I'm at home, not knowing, like spending hours trying to, book one thing 3 months out. So like Chef Mickey's, we really wanted to go to Chef Mickey's and could not get it. Sure enough, that morning, we can get you in there right away. How fast? What time do you want to be there? Like, I wouldn't have booked anything if I would have known that's how it was going to be.
That's awesome though that they were able to take care of you and make sure you got what you wanted.
Yeah. Yeah, they definitely took care of us.
It really does make it sound like the money is worth the extra.
It was. It was. I'm not gonna lie, but not. And I don't know. I mean, if you're staying at a deluxe resort, and like I said, we would have never even stayed club level had Polynesian been sold out, except for club level rooms. But I'm just so glad that we did, because like I said, I can stay at an All-Star no problem too. But every once in a while, you do have to spoil yourself, and the whole trip itself was much more relaxing, having no worries or anything like that.
So you're making it sound like it's worth the extra.
It was worth it. I mean, I thought when I did it that I was like, I'm never going to be able to stay anywhere else on Disney or not do club level. And I stayed at an All-Star since, and I was perfectly happy. I mean, there's so many conveniences to it. If you like the Magic Kingdom, it's the way to go on one of those 3 for sure. But just the way that you're right there, and taking the boat or the monorail over, or a bus over, or walking over, it was crazy. And my daughter, the first time we stayed there, was 4, which was like the perfect age. So she wanted to go to Magic Kingdom all the time. And we were there for Halloween too on our dream trip. So we went to the Halloween, Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still.
Yeah.
I should say again.
And this would have been, the first time we went to the Polynesian was 2017.
Okay.
Before, when it was still normal and everything was going on. And, you had access to everything that you wanted to do. So, and we did literally on that trip. We were like, let's just go for it and do all the things that we want to do. Our daughter's at a good age. She still remembers it. So, and she's been there once since then as well, but she remembers that trip, and that first one was good. When we went in 2019, it was still a great trip, don't get me wrong, but there was something about the first time we stayed at the Poly compared to the second time, because the second time was cool, but yeah, it was like, we know what we're doing here now, and we didn't get, I feel like, all the treats that we did every day the second time. And honestly, I think what made our first trip too was a certain cast member that was there the whole week that we were there, and I'm still Facebook friends with her, and she just gave us the hookup. And I don't think that she was doing anything out of the ordinary, but they sure made you feel like they were doing extra special stuff for us. So,
okay, so how many days were you there?
We were there, I think, a Sunday through Friday is what
Okay.
we were there.
That's a good time.
And we, when we go to Disney, we don't necessarily go to every park every time we're there. I think we did on that trip, but like Hollywood Studios, my daughter was 4. There was no Toy Story Land yet. Star Wars was just that. What is that thing that you walk into it?
The launch bay, the Star Wars launch bay?
Yes, that's
Sure.
launch bay. That was the only thing there. So it was like, I think we spent a couple hours at Hollywood Studios on that trip because we just wanted to be at our hotel swimming and eating all the food. I mean, it was the spread for the club level was really good food. A lot of it was Hawaiian themed, but they had lots of stuff to cater to kids too. My daughter discovered Uncrustables on that trip because they cut them and made them look fancy, and she thought they were the best thing she's ever had. So it was pretty hilarious.
That's awesome. So you would recommend club level food over dining elsewhere?
I would. You know what? It was easy. It's out only at certain times, but it's like, I think there's like an hour break between breakfast and then another hour break between like the lunch / like dinner dessert part. And, but there's still stuff available. All you have to do is ask. And there's always beer and wine and soda and water. Coffee was always available. Like you could go get that in the middle of the night and it didn't matter. So it was cool. The lounge that you ate in, like I said, was all just huge windows that you could see that overlooked the lagoon. So you could see the castle. So that was really neat.
Nice. All right. So when you told me about this, that you were able to go and do this, you kind of put it as like, you made it rain while you were there. Like you were throwing dollar bills around like they were going out of style.
It was ridiculous. And I am not a rich man by any means, but I think sometimes in life, I wanted my dream vacation. And that was like and I had stayed at the other 2 on the monorail. So that was the last one I was staying at on the monorail. So I just really wanted it to count. But I mean, the food was good, but we still ate at plenty of things. We went to the castle on that trip for lunch and did the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique. We did Ohana, of course, which is Ohana. Oh, I know, that's the best. And I've done that. I've been there for dinner. I've been there. I think both character ones were breakfast, and we did that the first morning that we were there. So that was the first time that my daughter had ever seen a character was at Ohana. Like she was there when she was little, but it wasn't the same because she was like barely even walking the first time she was there. But yeah, when we went to Ohana, like I have great pictures of her there. Like her face just was like crazy lit up, and just these people, like I said, the staff just made you feel like you were just in this magical place. And boy, my kid really took advantage of it.
So at Ohana, you did dinner, or was it?
We did the breakfast.
I love
but
the breakfast.
I've been there for the dinner as well. It wasn't a character show. I don't think.
Right, yeah. Dinner's not characters.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, but the dinner was very good too. But I would definitely do that. I've done the breakfast twice. So, and I'm trying to think of what was different between the 2 times. Not the food was the same. It was a couple years apart. But I want to say Pluto was like standing off to the side, so when you left, you could take a picture with him.
Right.
And I don't think that was there the first time. Like I think he just came around the tables like everybody else. So, yeah.
I think you and I were there at the same years.
Okay.
So we had kind of the same experiences there. But yeah, Ohana, I tell everybody they have to go to Ohana. So
You have to go to Ohana. I mean, it is so cool. I mean, I've eaten at every restaurant in the Polynesian because we stayed there, and they are all wonderful. But Ohana is definitely the best one. So, oh my God, I'm kind of at a blank at what the other ones are even called.
well, there's the Kona Cafe.
The Kona Cafe. So yeah,
Yeah.
is that the where they just have the quick service meals? Kona Cafe?
No,
No, that's upstairs, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
right.
Yes, I've been there. It's kind of in the across from the Moana Mercantile.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, I kind of think of it as like right next door to Ohana.
Yes. Yeah, it
Yeah.
is really. So
And then Captain Cook's is the quick service downstairs.
okay, Captain Cook's. Yes, I've been there many times. I think that might even go when we were there. I think that was even open 24 hours. Was that quick
wow.
service thing? I know it was at Grand Floridian too when we stayed there.
Huh.
So.
So yeah, we went the last trip we were on. We ate at Captain Cook's for the first time. Those coconut meatballs.
Oh sure.
Those were amazing.
I don't even remember what I had, so I'm terrible. Do they have sushi there?
They have sushi up by Kona Cafe.
Okay, I had sushi.
Mr. Dream Trip, you
I'm
should
not
know this one.
Yes, I'm not a big sushi person, but I did have sushi up there at one point. So
from they used to, I don't know if it's come back, but they used to have like a stand outside of Kona where you could get sushi as well.
Yes, I think that was there the last time I went in January. Actually, I think I saw that.
Okay.
Yeah. Right next to like the little, you can get a coffee, right? And
Yeah.
it's like right there. Yeah, that was still there when I was there.
Okay. All right. So let's get into this trip. Like you said you were in the parks, you were staying club level. Like for
Yes.
me, this is something that I might go visit the parks once or twice in this week-long trip.
Right. We did. Well, we had reservations at certain places in the park.
Okay.
But I think we also had, I mean, it was a dream trip, so we had park hopper passes the whole time that we were there. So we would do a lot of back and forth. Like we would go, like I know we went to be our guest one morning for breakfast, and then just went back to the hotel and went swimming, and then would go, to Epcot later that night, depending on our reservations. So we did a lot on that trip. We did a lot of character stuff because my kid was really into the character stuff, and we didn't know if she would be or not. But she was like insane about the characters, which is, and we ended up getting Cinderella's royal table when we got there from the cast member that helped us out.
That's
I won't
cool.
say her name because she could probably be fired for all the things she did for us.
It's long enough, right? I don't know. So you did get out into the parks, but you kind of make it sound like this is the trip like I would like to have, where you go to the park for a little while, you go back and you relax, you go to the park. Like,
Yep.
I can't do that when I'm on a trip because I feel like I'm putting all this money into it. I need to, spend the time in the park since I have a ticket.
Sure.
And now
I think that I was thinking putting all this money into this hotel, so I'm going to make it worth it. I mean, and still have, plenty of time at the parks. But, and like I said, we were just so lucky with those were the days of fast passes too. So we would already have 3 fast passes booked way in advance. But if we would just miss them, the cast member would be like, "It's fine, I got it." Like every single thing like you can think of, this cast member did for us every morning. And it was like she lived there. It was like our fairy godmother the whole time that we were on this trip. It was really unbelievable. So, but I mean, she she'd be like, "Oh, have you guys gone on, a certain ride?" I'm trying to think of what the newest ride was. I think the Mine Train was probably pretty new at the time. And
right.
I have a feeling when you're at the parks that they somehow, must know in your Magic Band or something that you're club level, because the Mine Train was it was new because it was a really long line, but we had fast passes for it. And when we got off of it, the lady just said to us, "Oh, do you want to just go again?" And we were like, yes. And I was just like, "Hey, what's up?" To it's like, have you ever seen the meme of people walking through the line with a cast member when they get those personal tours?
Oh, sure.
And they're walking all I'm better than you. So that was that moment of, oh, I guess this is my my me moment like that where they just put us right back on. It was crazy.
This, I definitely need to go and do this.
Yeah. It like I said, it costs a fortune. It does. I mean, and it's even more now than it would have been then. So, but they definitely make you feel like you're spending your money wisely. Not wisely, but that you're okay with doing it. So
like, you have this book that you've been showing me pictures,
Yes.
and you mentioned the Ray-Bans.
yes.
Like that, I think that just kind of solidifies how crazy you feel like this was.
It really was. It was, that was right when we got there, we had to wait for our room. So we checked out our club level building, and then my daughter and her mom and I went to Disney Springs. And that's when we were just kind of like, you know what, like whatever goes, let's just get whatever. And we before we even checked our hotel, we all have new Ray-Bans on, and like a 4-year-old needs Ray-Bans ever. But she got them, and probably 2 stuffed animals right away or something like that. So the stuffed animals, she came home with a lot. Like she was it was almost like, I don't know. It was a little much actually. After a while, we had to ship stuff home. So, but it was it was a once in a lifetime. We were a little more frugal on the second time we went club level, but it was definitely you can only be so cheap when you're at Disney World, to be honest. And
right.
I'm the kind of guy that's like, I just want to have fun, and this is where I like to be. My daughter likes to be there. I'm fortunate that I've been all over the place. I'd be fine just going to the Disney World Resort for the rest of my life. Or Disneyland.
I have not been everywhere, and I feel like I'm good
Right.
just doing that.
I mean, just go to Epcot, then you can knock the 12 places off the list. So, but yeah, but like I said, I would definitely, I will stay club level again. Definitely. I will probably not do it the next time I go. But I will definitely do it again. There's no way I can't.
So, back to going to the parks.
Okay.
Did you have to get on a bus with other people?
A bus? No, I'm just kidding. Yes, we actually did have to get on the occasional bus when we went to Disney Springs. We would take a bus. But I think, and then Animal Kingdom, we had to take a bus as well. But we did take a minivan at that time as well.
Oh, nice.
Those were running. So I think we did that from Epcot to the Polynesian. So it was pretty cheap. No, that can't be, because why wouldn't we have just? Well, we probably did. I was gonna say, why didn't we just get on the monorail? But sometimes at the end of the day, when you're done, you're done. Or maybe we took it to Disney Springs. I don't know.
Okay,
but we did take a minivan. It's in this book. I could prove it.
So did you go to the studios? Did you bus there?
Yes,
Okay.
we would bus
so
there.
You're not total first class,
right? No. I mean, we took the Magic Express, from the airport, which I'm very upset that is no longer.
Many of us are.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So when we stayed at the Grand Floridian, we did get picked up in a town car. Because we were like, we're staying at the Grand Floridian. That's when we were kind of like, I'm not getting on a bus.
That's.
But I didn't stay club level. So we got an upgrade when we were there, but I still don't know exactly what that upgrade was. You know what I mean? I don't know if it was just maybe a different room view or something. But when we stayed at the Grand Floridian, that was almost over 10 years ago, and that was kind of when my obsession started with, I need to stay at every resort on this resort. I always liked going there, but it wasn't until I stayed at the Grand Floridian that I was like, oh, there's a lot to be done here beyond going to the parks. And that's why staying there in Contemporary and then Polynesian are on my bucket list. I want to stay at the Wilderness Lodge too. I've never stayed there.
Yeah, I have. We got to stay at Contemporary.
Yep,
on our last
which is
trip,
beautiful.
It is, and it was great. And it was one of those that when we were planning it, it was like, well, we want the amenities, we want the pool, we want what comes with that.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't have as many days in the parks because of it. So, I can't justify myself paying a whole day park ticket and just going for a few hours. I have to go and spend, get the value out of that ticket.
Sure. I don't.
Well, and that's what it sounds like. Like you just had tickets all day, all
we
week
did.
long, and you just.
And that's kind of what But now, like when I've gone without my daughter, and I just go to one park. Like I went in January just for a few days to experience drinking around the world at Epcot. So I didn't go to any other parks. Like I said, I think at first that was like, oh, how are we not going to go to Animal Kingdom or this or that? But I was like, it's just to make more time when you're staying at one of those deluxe resorts. I think you have to make more time. Staying club level or not, it's so expensive to stay at a deluxe resort. So, in Contemporary, I did enjoy as well. I think that the rooms were really awesome at Contemporary, but Polynesian still takes it for all of these categories, in my opinion. The rooms are nice. The pool, I love the pools at the Polynesian. They have one of them. They have the one that has the slide that's giant, but then there's another one, and it was right off of our balcony, actually. That was very quiet, and that we ordered a lot of food from and ate poolside, and we did all that kind of stuff. So when we went the second time, I think we had more pool time because it was April, so it was warmer. Because I remember when we stayed there, when we went in October, we still swam, but it wasn't like super hot out or anything at that time.
Yeah.
So
I remember being down there and it was low 70s in our pool day, and we still.
Oh yeah, you just do it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The kids didn't care, obviously.
No. If you just have a Dole Whip at the Polynesian, you can get many varieties of booze in your Dole Whip at the Polynesian. Then you'll be fine if it's a little cold.
There you go. Yeah, we like to call that antifreeze up here.
Right. Oh, and speaking of booze, the grotto at the Polynesian.
Yes, you've been into Trader Sam's.
I have been in a Trader Sam's, and I think I may have told Brian this story, but that was in 2019, and my brother and my mom went to Trader Sam's. Like we all just kind of divided every day. Like, I'd see my daughter and her mom I saw the whole time, but like I barely saw my mom at some days, or I wouldn't see my brother for a day and his kid, because we just did whatever we really wanted. But they went to Trader Sam's one night, and my brother texts me and he's like, okay, you need to get in here. He's like, just talk to the concierge at the club level, and I'm sure they can get you in. Well, sure enough, I said, oh, I guess there's this bar that I need to go to, and it's incredible. I mean, it's so small. It's very tiny, and you just have to sit wherever. Like we sat with total strangers. That's just what you do. But there's so many fun and crazy things that happen inside of it. If you order a zombie drink, he'll bring it over to you, walking like a zombie. It rains. There's a volcano in it that erupts. It's so crazy, and it's so small and so packed. And I think you just don't even care because it just has this magical feeling inside. It's really, really cool. I wish I would have taken pictures in it, but I think that they make the drink so strong that you don't think to do anything like that.
I know that I've seen some video from in there, and it does look like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Tammy is chomping at the bit to get in there. There is one out in Disneyland, which we're going out there in February, so I might try to get in there.
Do it. I mean, how do you... Because after we went there, I noticed the next day, a line forming before it opened. And it was a pretty long line. And I thought, I don't feel like half that line's not even going to fit in that place. So is that what you'll have to do, you think, is get in the line? Or
I haven't looked into what it's going to take out there yet.
Does Disneyland have club level? Not to get off topic.
I'm sure they do. I mean, they have 3 resorts that are their own.
Right.
I've always been a Disney World guy. I've always thrown Disneyland off to the side whenever it comes up. So I'm still kind of learning and figuring it out.
Yeah, I've been there twice, but I have never stayed at the Disneyland Resort.
And unfortunately,
that's what I would like to do.
This time we're staying in the because we're going for a convention.
But you're still right in the area, so you have to go
2 blocks away. So
yeah, I think I'd go for the Disneyland Hotel if I had to pick one of those to stay at. Paradise Pier doesn't look like that one's for me.
That's their quote-unquote cheap option,
Oh,
right?
is it? I didn't
Yeah.
even. Okay, well, of course, now I'm saying that it's not for me. But I didn't pick the most expensive one, did I? Isn't Grand California the most expensive?
I think it might be. I
Yeah.
mean, that's their version of the
Yeah.
Grand Floridian. So
Yeah. But anyway, I like I said, I can't say enough about Club Level. It's like I said, they just take care of you like it's crazy. It is crazy. I never really experienced a vacation like that where, and it's not like we were weighted on hand and foot. I guess you could say that we were, but it wasn't like obnoxious or anything like that. Like everyone was really friendly. The cast members just got along with everyone. You could tell that those specific cast members work only in that building. They don't work anywhere else. So I never saw any of them outside of that building. So they must have to work pretty hard to get to that level, I would think. Because most of them that were working in our building, I know, had worked there for many, many years.
I would think so. Like, you want your best,
Right?
helping out
Right.
the highest paying people,
Right.
Yeah.
But I would do things too. Like I one day they wanted to know if any of us wanted to take the Disney Vacation Club talk. But I think they gave us each a $75 gift card, and each of us, and for just me going and doing it. And I was like, well, where is it? And they're like, oh, it's at the Polynesian. And in my head, I thought, well, I'm going to do it because I want to see the room that they're going to bring me to.
Right.
So I got to see like a regular hotel room is where they had me watch like a video and talk to a guy about Disney Vacation Club. And frankly, I mean, that trip probably cost what Disney Vacation Club would have been for us to sign up. So we probably should have just done it.
Right.
But I just haven't. I've thought about doing that for a long time, but I've just never pulled the trigger. I don't know. I don't know that I need to stay in bungalows and things like that either. I've seen them at the Polynesian, and I don't have a giant desire to stay at those.
It's one of those bucket list items that
Oh, it's on yours.
it's like,
Okay.
I don't feel like I'm ever going to be able to afford it.
Right. I mean, I don't know how much those are, but they're more than club level. Those should be
I think
included.
they're up to like $1,500 a night.
And that's, I mean, I say, but if it's your dream vacation, then I'd say go for it.
Yeah, right? Yeah, so before we started recording, you had said that you were listening to the Dream Disney trip.
I was. I think that was from maybe sometime in July. I think you guys did a Dream Disney, and when I was listening to it, I almost felt kind of bad because I was like, yeah, I did that. I stayed there. Oh yeah, I ate there. Oh yeah, I did that too. For what both of you guys were saying, I was like, and then I didn't really think about it until I listened to that, and I thought, God, I really did go on a Dream Disney vacation. I've been very lucky. I've kind of been on 4 of them, really. I mean, anytime you stay at a deluxe resort, I'd say that you're on a Dream Disney vacation.
That sounds right to me because, I mean, you are putting up a lot of money just to stay in a room. And that goes back to, and we've talked about it on the show a lot, is do you want a room that you just need to sleep in, or do you want a room that you're going to relax in? Right. And, we had that at the Contemporary. You've had that when you've stayed on the monorail loop.
Yep.
And I think that's a different mindset than what I would normally have done while I've gone down there.
Right. The last time I stayed at an All-Star was after the 2 times I stayed at the Poly, and I mean, I was completely satisfied, but it was like I wanted to see Galaxy's Edge, so I didn't have my daughter with me. I just wanted to see it on my own, and so that was like I don't need my room to be, I don't need to spend a lot of time at the hotel on that trip because I only went for 3 nights. But I definitely still noticed as far as like transportation, like those buses, they definitely come a lot more at the deluxe resorts than they do at an all-star resort, and just the lines were always so much longer for everything.
Let
like
me tell
getting
you,
on
as
the
one
buses.
of the guys standing in the line, like. You notice that the deluxe buses are coming sooner and more frequent. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I noticed definitely things like that. And I mean, Disney still has the best customer service ever. But I mean, you definitely did feel as special at the All-Star as I did at the Polynesian.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah. But I needed maybe a check back into reality a little bit. So like I said, I liked All-Star movies. That's the one that I prefer of any of them. I've never stayed at the other 2, but I've just walked around them. But I definitely, that'd be my inexpensive pick, I guess you could say.
And I feel like that's all they have left for inexpensive picks.
Yeah. And even those are getting up there.
Yeah, they are. And like Pop Century and Art of Animation, they've been classified as value, and I think the only thing that does that is that they don't have a sit-down restaurant.
Right. And Art of Animation is on my bucket list for sure, but I am not staying in a Little Mermaid themed room. Like that's just I'd go
Finding
bonker.
Nemo.
I'd go, but I think the Little Mermaid is like a regular room, isn't it?
is,
Yeah. So I mean, so if they had, I wouldn't mind. I don't need a suite there, but I mean, I would go crazy staying in a Little Mermaid room. I think it would just drive me nuts. But Finding Nemo or Lion King would be I think Finding Nemo, you're right, would be the one to go with. That I definitely would like to do.
Yeah. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think everything at Art of Animation is a suite except for those Little Mermaids.
Yep, except for the Little Mermaid, they are. Yep.
Yeah. So, and I know they always exclude those Little Mermaid rooms from every discount because they fill up so quickly. But Art of Animation, I would recommend it to anyone. I think it's a great place.
I've never been to it. I've always wanted to just go walk around it even.
Yeah.
Because just
now
seeing
that
pictures.
the Skyliner's there, definitely try that next time.
I have been to the Riviera Resort. I have not stayed there, but I went there just to check it out. And it was, you know what, it was nice, but it was kind of stiff. Like it definitely, I mean, no, it was still very nice, but you could definitely tell a different kind of person stays there. Like it just, I don't think it would be the place for my kid to just run around like a maniac. It definitely had an adult's older feel to it.
Okay.
So it was neat, and the pool didn't look that great to me. The hotel itself was beautiful, and it's not nearly as big as some of the other deluxe resorts. It seemed pretty small, but it was nice. But it definitely, I felt like it was a little upper class. Definitely staying at the Riviera.
So I have not been over to the Riviera yet, and I think Mikhailo said he's going to try to get over there on this trip and check it out.
It's cool.
But so do you think it's stuffier than the Grand Flow? Because
I do.
Me, really? Okay.
I do. I definitely thought so, and I think that the Grand Floridian, I agree, can be as well. But everybody still goes to see it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think the Riviera is much of a, I'm going to go check out this hotel. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't know, it's kind of quietly there to me. Like, you don't hear a lot about it, but I just wanted to see it because it was it was really new, I want to say, at the time. Within a year, I don't think.
Well, it is, it is.
When did that open, do you know?
Oh, boy.
Maybe 2019 or earlier.
It had to have been 19.
Okay. Before COVID, because that's when I saw it, was right before COVID started.
Okay.
Regardless, it was beautiful, and getting on the gondola from there was very convenient and easy as well. So
yeah, the one thing that always scares me about the Skyliner is that hub that you have to go through.
Yeah, it's the Skyliner. It's different.
I mean, I love riding on it. It's incredibly quiet.
It is
when you're up there.
It is, and it's smoother than you think it's going to be.
Yeah, it's so smooth. But. And when I say I'm scared of that hub, it's just the amount of people that are there. And
right.
I'm worried I'm going to be stuck in a line forever.
Right. I was in one of the Skyliners by myself. It was really weird. I don't really want to be around other people, but when you're at Disney, you have to be. But in that situation, I wouldn't have minded somebody else in there with me, because I thought, what if this is odd? It was just odd being in there by yourself, looking down and thinking, something happens here. I'm all alone. Like, what if I get stuck?
Well, and back then, like, there were still a lot of questions around.
There were, yeah.
It doesn't seem to be an issue anymore.
No. No. The only issue is that it doesn't go to the Polynesian.
Someday. I know someday it will. Like, if I feel like, and I've heard this from other people, and I'm stealing it from them, but it seems like, the next progression is going to be Animal Kingdom. Or Disney Springs. Like, it's going to be pretty easy to put it down that main road.
Yeah. I can definitely see that, because Animal Kingdom doesn't have anything besides bus, right?
Right.
So
it would be nice if they were able to add that in.
Animal Kingdom. I'd love to stay. I've never been to the Animal Kingdom Lodge either. I'd love to stay there. Have you been to the hotel?
I've been, yes.
Okay, that I see. I've not.
And to backtrack a little bit on last week's episode, where Mikhailo and I were talking about some of his last minute trip items, what they're going to do. We actually talked to them yesterday, the day before they left, and got them to switch from Rainforest Cafe. He's like, yeah, I'm excited to go to Rainforest Cafe. Like, that's like his
Sure.
place or whatever.
Sure. Like, does he usually go there?
Like, it sounds like that's
Okay.
Like, he hasn't recently, but
Right.
it sounds like that's like the one place that they'll always go.
Sure.
And I'm like, why? Like,
I've eaten at that one twice. Yeah, it's fine, but
right.
I don't need to.
I'd rather eat somewhere else.
Right. It's the one place where I end up buying a stuffed animal for my kid that's not a Disney character.
Okay.
That's about it. That's
about
like
it.
the biggest difference in us going to Rainforest Cafe than anywhere else.
Yeah, well, he ended up we got him to switch from doing Rainforest, and now he's going to be going to Boma.
Oh, sure.
And he had been wanting to get over to the lodge.
Yep.
So, that just kind of adds everything together for him.
Very cool.
Yeah. So yeah, he actually messaged me this morning that he's excited for the Zebra Domes.
Okay.
At Boma. So,
Sure.
I'm excited to talk to him about all that when he gets back.
Yeah, for sure. That's fun. I know I'm due for a trip. Well, I went in January, but I only went to Epcot and a lot of Disney Springs.
Yeah, definitely need to get back then.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
sure.
It was fun going to Epcot, but
So where's the next big trip then? Where are you staying?
I don't know. I don't know where we'll stay. I think we are also, like, you're going to Disneyland. We're thinking about also going to Disneyland as well. And I would like to stay at the Disneyland Hotel when we're there. I don't know that I'll need to stay club level if they even offer it. I don't know if they do. I should know that, but I don't.
I'm sure they do.
But I think that we will do that. I think we're going to do it in 2024. I want everything to be back to normal. I want all the character. I mean, it seems like it's pretty much at normal again with characters and things like that. But yeah, if we do Disney World, my child did not get to go for the 50th anniversary, so she was pretty upset about that. But they'll have something else. And my favorite time to go there is in the fall. So I think either next fall or the beginning of 2024 is when we'll go. So in a year, I'm thinking.
Well, we'll have to have you report back on your next dream trip.
Right. And if I could pick any place, I would probably want to stay at the Polynesian, but I need to move on from that, and I think I would probably want to do Wilderness Lodge, only because now I kind of feel like that I stayed on the monorail, like I could go in a direction, so that would kind of be the next one, and then I can kind of check off all the Magic Kingdom ones off my list, because that's pretty close to Magic Kingdom too. So,
well, let's spend Noah's money.
All right.
If you guys want to, give us a message, let us know where he should go spend his money next.
Yes, tell me where I should go.
That would be great. But guys, thanks for Noah. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me. It was fun.
Guys, if you could go out and just let somebody know that you're enjoying the show, that would be great. It helps the show out a lot if we can get some more people listening. So please do that. But that's all we have for you this week. And as we always say, some live close,
but others don't.
So let's talk about it. We'll see you next week on Miles from Main Street.